The first thing is drawing to notice. So instead of taking a photograph, if you stop in a place and you attempt to draw it, the time you spend drawing it should make you aware of things that you normally wouldn't be aware of. So the purpose of drawing is to notice things. Secondly, drawing to understand. I've already showed you the example with Castel San Angelo. This is St. Ivo, where instead of in addition to the perspective view, I'm looking at the plan geometry, and I'm looking at its position at the end of a courtyard, which you normally don't think about or see, is that it's actually at the end of a courtyard space. And then, of course, drawing to remember. And here, what I'm simply going to do is document. Now, I'm going to tell you my age by telling you that I went to school in the 60s. All right, I went to school in the 60s. And I didn't really start drawing this way until 1990 when I had the opportunity to spend a month in Japan. And what I did was I gave myself the task of doing one drawing each day, minimum. Okay, so this is one of them. Drawing on location is, first of all, personal, because just the way you write differently, what you observe and how you represent it is a very individual attribute of your drawings. It's not like the computer where it's difficult for my eyes to understand the authorship of a computer drawing. The more sophisticated people might be able to do it, but my eyes are not trained to do that. But when you're drawing on location, there is an authorship that is recognizable. Okay, and so that's one of the advantages, I think. It's extemporaneous in a sense. You can't go home and prepare for it the night before, like saying, well, this is what I'm going to do. Because when you confront the information in front of you and you interpret it, that's what you're going to end up drawing. So in a sense, you can't prepare for it. It has to happen on the spot. And I'm talking about not taking a photo and then drawing from the photograph in your studio. And as I started in the beginning, it is meditative. So I did this drawing on the left, 1990, and then later, I was looking at Hiroshige's block prints. I discovered this view of the same temple, slightly different point of view. I always found it interesting that, how many years apart, 150 years apart, these two views of the temple occurred. Now also, if you watch the timing, this is China 1993, the way of drawing, which is what now 25 years ago, I had much better eyesight and much better control of the hand. So you can see the style of drawing is very much different than how I draw today. So the drawing on the left is a drawing that I did as a student of the Spanish Steps. The drawing on the right is what I did in 2000, and I simply merged it. This view is similar, the approach is similar, but the tool was different. This is simply to point out that when you travel, you simply don't have to just draw what I would call the postcard views, the perspective views, but you can do diagrams, you can annotate, you can paste things into the book. So it's not simply a drawing journal. It's really a journal that has drawings in it, but it also may have writing and other items in it. This is the Campo de' Fiori. My apartment was just beyond the statue of Bruno, overlooking the Campo. One attribute when I'm drawing is I'm always trying to establish where I was, not just what I was looking at. So the relationship between the viewer and what's viewed is established. So in this case, having this edge of the wall overlooking the Tiber is important. Not just the Tiber Island itself. The typical view here, of course, is as you approach the Cappadocia, you go up the series of steps and you look at the statue, and then you see the buildings on both sides. I went off to the side and looked this way so I could see the church and the monument beyond. So I have 3 layers of history there, not just the view of the space. I often draw maps. I draw views of the ferry, and then arriving in Como, I drew the cathedral, and the 3 drawings sort of merged into each other. And this is a drawing of Via Giulia. And it looks fairly detailed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow a portion of it up. What you end up seeing is that the drawing looks detailed, but if you were to look very carefully, I am not replicating exactly what I see. I'm not drawing every molding. I'm not drawing every capital. What I'm doing is, with the strokes, suggesting, so that when you look at it, you know what I drew because it suggests to you what the identity is. That is, to me, the magic of drawing, hand drawing, freehand drawing, is that ability to suggest without replicating. In some ways, it's efficient. It is an exercise in abstraction.